Hi, I'm Rachel Luckcuck, and I have English 1102 with Dr. Fallis. Communication is a complex, multimodal, and vital concept in our global society. Through written, oral, verbal, electronic, and nonverbal communication, people create art and literature and scientific discoveries and cultural institutions that are pillars in our society. The modality of communication that I want to focus on is the nonverbal form. In my opinion, nonverbal communication is the most difficult to decipher and clearly understand. Nonverbal communication is a prominent part in my life. In high school, I coached a swim team for children with intellectual and physical disabilities. There were about 30 swimmers on my team, and their disabilities and abilities varied greatly. One of my swimmers was an 11-year-old boy named Jack. Jack was on the autism spectrum and is nonverbal, meaning he is unable to communicate using words. As a coach, this was quite a challenge. It meant it was often difficult to express to Jack what I wanted him to do when it came to improving his swimming or form or waiting for the starter to shout go before jumping in off the block. Sometimes we would both get frustrated when he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do and when he wasn't understanding what I wanted him to do. I would use lots of hand gestures and extremely expressive facial expressions and would sometimes move his arms for him to show him what I wanted him to do. I would give him high fives and reward him when he was and let him do cannonballs into the pool when he would do the stroke right. And when he didn't understand, I'd keep trying different ways of communicating with him. After spending lots of time in the pool with Jack, I discovered he had a strong sense of humor. He thought it was hilarious when I would lose to him in a race or trip and fall in the pool. I found that backstroke was his favorite stroke after seeing his smile stretch from ear to ear when it was time to practice that stroke. And I could definitely tell when he was too tired or felt like I was making him work too hard because his face would scrunch up and he would cross his arms when I would tell him to do 2 more laps. Working with Jack for 2 years showed me how trying it can be to communicate with someone nonverbally, especially completely nonverbally. But it also showed me how important it is to learn to adapt to the needs of the person that you're trying to communicate with. This is why I'm excited to work on strengthening my skills in communication through all the woven modalities, especially that of nonverbal communication.